got going on today, dear?
We're tearing a transmission apart.
Tearing transmission apart.
Putting synchros in.
Synchros. That's what we're starting with, y'all. We've got the 8th gen over here. It's a great day. Parts are just flooding in. I think they all flooded in, actually. We've got the welder, Flash Pro, synchros, motor mounts, pump, turbo, all the good stuff. But we're going to start with the transmission. This will be my first K-Series transmission that I've personally done. I've done a few B-Series, numerous D-Series. First K-Series, they're all kind of the same. I think you just got to start these ones a little different. But other than that, I mean, it's just a matter of diving into a transmission, putting all new synchros in, carbon synchros from Synchrotech. But in traditional, non-traditional fashion, we're actually going to clean everything first. Look, I have it up on the bench. I was just going to start tearing it apart, not even cleaning it, just putting it back together. But we're here at Donovan's, and he's got a really clean car, and, you know, friends are supposed to help friends do better things, so he's convincing me to go ahead and wash this thing up. Oh, poor shop dog, man. He just wants out so bad. So Devin's got the cleaning supplies, and we're gonna go ahead and clean all this stuff up. And then I will start replacing synchros. We're gonna clean trans and the cross member probably. The bay's a little dirty, but you really can't see anything in these engine bays once they're all put together. They're really cluttered, so I don't think I'm gonna do much cleaning here. Maybe a quick pressure washing, and then we will call it good enough. But we're gonna pull all this stuff out, dirty up Devin's driveway instead of mine for once, and see how it goes. Catch you guys when it's all clean. Filthy, filthy transmission. All right, so this thing got cleaned up pretty dang good. I'm pretty happy with it, a lot cleaner than it was. We're gonna go ahead and dive into this thing now. Like I said earlier, first K-Series transmission. Shouldn't be nothing too crazy. We'll start with getting this mount off. We'll get the reverse lockout off. We'll take the detent springs out. They sit underneath this mount right here. There's 3 of them. We'll pop those out and then start splitting the case. This should be nothing unusual, nothing crazy. But let's dive into it and see if we can't get some new synchros put in this thing. All right, y'all, after I itch my eyeball here, we are going to officially split this case. There you've got it. There's a look inside a K-Series transmission. So right here, you've got your oil baffle plate. This supplies oil to all the gears. Make sure to put it back in when you go back together. I've left it out on some B-Series transmissions and really regretted it. So make sure that goes back in. And then we've got the gear sack here. This thing's in beautiful, beautiful shape here. You don't see anything wrong with it. These bearings are actually really tight yet, really nice, but we're gonna replace them all anyways. So now that this is apart, we're going to pull the output shaft and the main shaft and start changing out synchros and gears and bearings. So that'll be a fun process here. But first, we're gonna go grab some lunch and then we'll come back and knock this out. So see you guys soon. All right, so I may be getting a little ahead of myself here. I got this gear stack all stripped down. It's sitting here, I got it all flipped. So then when I go back, back together with it, 1, 2, 3, 4, stack it all up. You guys know the deal. But right now I need to pull the final drive out of it and get this bearing and this bearing changed out. I better do that before I forget, because otherwise I'll just build these stacks and not do that. So we're gonna change out these bearings. I may have to go get a bearing puller, but we'll do those and then hop back into rebuilding the stack. All right, here we are. As you guys seen, we just pulled bearings out. That was pretty easy with the old $70 Harbor Freight tool puller. I got this seal replaced here. I used just a 1.25" socket, and I used the old seal as my hard edge. Bam, bam. I checked it. It looks good all the way around. We went ahead and cleaned this one out as well. You can see a little bit of wear on this guy. Nothing I'm really going to worry about. It's just a bearing that goes in that area there. So the bearing was definitely wearing, which is okay. I mean, common use of bearings, right? And then now we got the new bearings in the freezer. I'm going to go ahead and try to drop those in with little to no hiccups. And then we'll put the final drive back in, put this lock back in, and then start doing the gear stack sets. So let's jump back into that. Would y'all check that out? Bearing spins, gear stack spins, collars move. Oh, maybe if you guys are on it would help. Anyways, everything's spinning. Everything's good there. This collar moves free. All good. Synchros are all there. I'm pretty tickled with the wife and I. This thing's gone pretty good. We kind of maybe forgot how a few things were lined out, but we got them knocked out real fast overall. It went pretty good. So this one is done. Main bearing's back on. This one here is going to be a little more tricky. We got to knock this stud off here, loosen it, and then we can start taking this gear stack apart. We do only have 2 synchros left, so they obviously go right down here. 2 synchros, a bearing, all that fun stuff. We're going to take it apart now and get this one back together, and hopefully, cross our fingers, everything is the way it should be. Note to self and everyone doing these. These are reverse thread on this main cap here on this bolt. See? Lefty loosey. No, that just tightened it. Righty loosey. Right loosens, left tightens. So, reverse thread. Make sure not to try and loosey-goosey that, because you'll get it. So, put your impact on tighten to hit that off and get it off there. And then I just held it with my hand. Held it kind of tight because your gear stack will try to spin. Hold it tight and that'll pop right off there for you. Yeah, you're good. All right, y'all. So this gear stack has to be pressed Unfortunately, we don't have a press here at good old Devin's house, so we're gonna run up to Eddie's, press it off, press it all back on. We'll take the new synchros up with us. We'll take the new collars, all that good stuff. We'll get this gear pressed out up there, and then we will catch you guys back here at the shop to install all the new parts. There it is. This gear stack's all back together. We went down to Eddie's. Huge shout out to Caps Auto Works for letting us use their press. Super, super cool. We forgot this dang washer, so we came back, pressed that bearing off, pressed it back on, so it's all good. The little washer goes right down in between the final gear, first gear, and this top bearing. So bearings on, it's all good there. These bearings are replaced. They're all good as well. That one's replaced. I think that's all the bearings on this thing. Should be 4 of them.
1, 2, 3.
Isn't there a
there 4?
fourth? There's 4. It's on this shaft here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got all 4 bearings. We got all the synchros replaced. Here's all the old ones for that gear stack. And here are the 2 and the collar and the springs for that gear stack. So that's all changed out, good to go. We're gonna go ahead and drop these things in. I don't think there's much anymore we need to do. We'll put the final drive in, and then we'll put shift forks on these, slide them all together, slap them in there. Let's hope it all goes well, and then we'll clean up this face, this mating surface. Actually, I might do that real quick before we slap these in. Clean it all up, slap this thing together, and be done with the transmission. All right, there it is. The gear stack is all set. And if I think it actually might still be in neutral. It is still in neutral. So if we see here, I'm trying not to pinch my fingers. Nope, there it fell. So if we hold it there, we've got neutral. Everything spins as it should. Everything seems real good. So now I'm gonna finish buttoning everything up. We've got all of this to put back in for the reverse lockout. We've got the reverse gear to put in yet. All that kind of stuff. Once we get that all put in, we will go ahead and seal this case up, get it bonded, put together, and this thing's done. So real quick, easy. I mean, we've been at it all day, but we've been taking our time, doing it right, make sure everything goes back together. We had to run over and use a press, all that good stuff. So anyways, it's to this point. We're gonna go ahead and button this thing up, and we'll catch you guys when it's all together. There it is, completed trans. We still got to put the reverse lockout, all that good stuff in, shift selector stuff. The new bearings are in with the snap ring in, and it is all good, looking good. I'm gonna clean the little bit of goop out of that, and then we'll put that cap back in, and everything will be good there. We'll slap the shift selector all in there. This trans is done. Pretty happy with how it went. Everything went pretty smooth. Case is all gooped. You can see it's just leaking out all over. I put extra in there just to make sure it's all nice and snug as a bug in a rug. We're gonna flip this thing over, put that in, and call it a day. All right, y'all, there she is, all back together. We got our detaints in, or whatever you want to call them, for the shifters there. We got the cap back on. The retaining clip is holding that bearing in underneath this here. Case is all sealed down. It's all tightened down. Reverse, or the shift mechanism, is all in. These are a little different. Like B series, you have the actual shifter that comes out the transmission. This is your shifter here. So if we kind of look at what we got, it's in neutral right now. First, second, that'd be neutral. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, reverse. It's all working as it should. This thing's buttery. I had the wife grab the output shaft and give it a turn. You can hear everything working as it should in there. So I would like to say synchros are correct. They're all put in the right way. They're all in the right order. All the gear stacks went back together. We pressed all the gears back onto the secondary shaft. We got all the washers in where they belonged. This entire transmission is all buttoned up, ready to go back together. Tomorrow we will mate it back up to the engine over there and just keep on cruising. We'll put the clutch, flywheel, all the new motor mounts. I suspect tomorrow I have motor put back in this thing, turbo kit halfway installed, and then come Sunday we should be able to do all the mock-up for intercooler piping, all the fun stuff there. So we're gonna end this one off tonight. It's getting kind of late. 11:15, so not too bad. That was a good solid half the day, and everything's in this thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of that. I don't know if I'm gonna make this thing one massive video, or if I'm gonna break it up into smaller videos, or how it's all gonna kind of go. I think it should all flow into one video pretty smoothly. I mean, it's going pretty fast.
A little long, but it's worth it.